Okay, well, hey neighbors, welcome to the Shed Shop and this edition of Incidental Audits. This is part 4 of the mini-series that I'm putting out for the incident that happened in North Dakota a couple years ago, in which my rights were violated in many different ways, and you get to see a corrupt tyrant sheriff use scare tactics in this clip. We're going to read a century code, which is the penal code in North Dakota. You hear me mention in this video that he violated my rights and broke 5 penal codes. I'm going to give you just the most important one that he violated. This is going to be Century Code 12.1-14-05. And it reads as follows, and I will have this on the screen for you to follow along. Preventing exercise of civil rights, hindering or preventing another aiding third person to exercise civil rights. A person is guilty of a Class B misdemeanor if, whether or not acting under color of law, he, by force or threat of force, or by economic coercion intentionally, 1. Injures, intimidates, or interferes with another because he is or is about to exercise his civil rights, or because he has exercised his civil rights. 2. Intimidates or prevents another from aiding a third person to exercise his civil rights. Basically, you need to know your rights, neighbors, and one of your rights is to not answer questions. One of your rights is to not hand over your physical ID. One of your rights is to remain silent. On video 3, you saw me explain the penal code, the century code about stop and identify in North Dakota, which says that a law enforcement officer has to have reasonable, articulatable suspicion that you are about to commit a crime, in the commission of committing a crime, or have committed a crime. They can't just stop you randomly in a public place and say, hey, give me your ID. He also says that you have to give your name and date of birth, which is inaccurate, as you can see in video number 3. I encourage you, go from the beginning. You will have an info card right here for video 1, and start there, and each end screen will bring you to the next video in this 4-part series. And go ahead and like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to turn on the bell so you get all of the upcoming content on this very unique channel. We have chainsaws, we have how-tos, we have incidental audits, we have animals, we have the Bible, we have all kinds of different stuff here for you to enjoy. And so if you don't like chainsaws, but you like civil rights stuff and you like auditing, there's going to be a lot more of that content coming up for you. So enjoy this clip and then go in the comments and tell me what you think. Again, go back to video number 1 to start, because that is going to give you the details and information of the situation as you watch through the videos. And so, until next time, neighbors, be kind to one another. Everyone's facing a battle. Enjoy this video.
Combative, argumentative.
Wasn't combative, argumentative until my rights were violated.
Okay, you know the law, apparently.
I know some of it.
Yeah, well, you better read the rest of it.
Now you're giving me orders?
No, it's a suggestion. But I was going to tell you, you have to provide your vaccine papers. Is that not registered with the city?
She doesn't have to be. We're not residents of Milner.
You've been living here for a year.
I am on a mission trip. That's not living.
Okay. Well, the law in the city says if you have a pet, you have to register it and pay the fee.
If you're a resident.
You're a resident. Residency's after 30 days. There's the law.
If you live here, I don't live here.
You've lived here for longer than 30 days. That's
I'm
residency.
Traveling. You need to look at the fine print of what the law is, Travis. I'm sorry.
30 days establishes residency.
If you're traveling on a mission field, it's not residency. You have to understand there's exemptions to everything. And that's one of, yes, there is, Travis. My goodness.
I don't think the court would find that as an exemption.
So now you're speaking for the court.
No, I'm not.
You just did.
I said I don't think they would.
Okay.
All right. And if you don't provide your vaccination papers.
I did.
I know you did. I said if you didn't, okay, we are required to quarantine that animal for 10 days at the expense of the owner. There's another law.
Show me the law, because I read it. No, you're not.
Okay.
I'm not required to show my vaccine records.
Yeah, you are.
No, you have to get a warrant for that. That's something. If I say no, a judge has to mandate me to provide them.
If you don't provide it, I'm not going to sit here and debate with you.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and debate with you. I know what the rule is.
You provided it, so it's irrelevant. But just for the future, if it happens and you don't provide it, that they're up to date, the dog can be impounded and taken to the vet and quarantined there for 10 days. If it shows signs of rabies, then the dog is put down and we take the brain and send it out to the state health department. And then you're responsible for all the...
I love your intimidation. It's not going to fucking work.
I'm not intimidating you.
Yeah, you're trying to use scare tactics. I know how you piece of shit police officers work. All you're doing is upsetting me now because you're threatening me. I'm trying to be civil and respectful, and you're just not, Travis. You're just being a dick. You really are, brother.
Well, why don't you go and rewatch your video that you have?
No, I'm not being a nice guy. I know that. But that's why when you approached, I tried to tell you I'm already upset. I'm already elevated. I want to talk like men. But now you're using scare tactics on me. And that doesn't work with me.
Your buddy's sitting right there.
I don't care. It doesn't care. I don't care what he says.
All right. Have a good day.
Yep, you too.
Travis, can I talk to you? Yep. What do we got to do to try?
Well, I mean, they work. I mean, if you get an e-fence and the dog knows the boundaries, the problem with an e-fence is if they come barreling through it, it can go through it. Then they can't get back in because they're not going to come back with such force, you know what I'm saying? A fence would be fine, or we could try it.
Well, I don't know what to do.
Or we could just be civil with the neighbor and ask her to allow us some time to retrain her after we get our garage from not falling over. I mean, isn't that reasonable? Can't we all be reasonable here, Travis? I mean, this is a 700-person town, and I've never seen so much hatred in a small town in my life.
I said I didn't have a problem with that, but if it goes over there all the time, what's a reasonable amount of time to retrain the dog?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if she wants you to mediate, how about we sit down? How about we all sit? You said you guys resolve things, right? So there's a good answer, Travis. That's opening a door to, okay, let's see, what's a reasonable amount of time? That's a fair question.
I don't know what that is.
How about we figure that out all together with the neighbor, with you, with me? What's a reasonable amount of time so we don't inconvenience you too much, so we don't upset her, but that we can continue to try and do what we're doing?
You can have with your neighbor.
But obviously, she just wants to call you guys and not talk to us.
Yeah, but that's her right, though.
I'm not saying it's not.
We just got to take it up with her, and if she's okay with a grace period where we try to retrain her, she's been doing better, but we still lose her sometimes. We've been both watching her. Okay.
That or look at an e-fence.
Yeah, we'll work on it.
I mean, I know they work. I mean, the only times I've seen them is if the dog's got a full head of steam. But once that knows where that's at, you know, like little orange flags maybe, so they know, so they can visualize where their boundary is.
Right. Okay.
They learn themselves.
Okay. Hopefully we can talk to Indy too. I haven't really approached her since it happened.
I'll call her back and see what she got to say.
I'm sorry, Jeff. Thank you.
No problem. Yep.
Good stuff.
Yeah, see you later.
Yep. See ya.